Hey everybody, this is Miss Chu here. Just wanted to say Happy New Year. Welcome to quarter 3 and just kind of review how we get to do our sways and why we want to do them. So we are working this week, remember, on our assignment Q3W3. You can see it's right there. So you would go ahead and you would click on that link. And then it's going to open up to here. Remember, this is the edit mode. So this is what you will see is the play mode. And just remember that all of the directions are in this sway. Remembering that there are 5 parts. Always first is going to be the text that we are working on, the main text. What we're doing this quarter, what we'll do next quarter, why we are doing these things. And then it's going to have our part 1, which is basically the intentional interview, helping us recognize that we have different perspectives based on one story. It can have many perspectives. So you'll go ahead and you can respond to these. And then on this last part, you are going to go ahead and talk more about the tone and compare it to how your interviewee also responded. And then you can write it as a paragraph. So remember also that when you're looking at this, if you duplicate it, you would be able to just go ahead and type straight into the sway here for part 1. You could go ahead and just type in your responses. Let's go back to play mode. So here, let's jump on down then to part 2. Remember, part 2 is going to alternate between a piggyback and a essay. So on the even numbered weeks, we'll do essays, and on the odd numbered weeks, we will do piggybacks. And you'll know it's an odd numbered week just because of right here, Q3W3, Q means quarter, and the W means the week. So this is an odd week, so you'll go ahead and do a piggyback. Remember, a piggyback basically follows the structure of the original piece. When we looked at the red wheelbarrow, we ended up taking those adjectives, verbs, different parts of speech, and following the same pattern. In this case, it's a longer piece of writing. So we're taking, for example, our first year, that's the time. In New York, that's the location. We is the who. Rented is the action, etc. And you'll notice that when you get to paragraph 3, it's a little bit shorter, and there's a part here where Miss Alvarez is shouting something out. So in your paragraph 3, you'll have some sort of a conversation. And then right here in paragraph 4, if you remember in my sample says, why Felicia, that's stinky fruit, which matches this one, why Yolanda, that's snow. And then the last paragraph here, again, this one says snow, I repeated. And in mine, you can say stinky fruit, I texted. Okay, so hopefully that helps that make more sense. We'll look at the actual sample in just a moment too. And then here, part 3, remember that's your standard asynchronous work that we started last semester with your reading, reflection, vocabulary, IXL, free fret, and notes. Part 4, there's a supplemental reading. In this case, it's the piece, A Society for Black Relief. And there's a reflection that's there. And then you're going to do your activity choice. Remember, an activity choice can be anything like a song, a poem, a piece of art, a movie, etc. You're going to want to relate it either to the setting, the characters, or the theme of what our main pieces were, or the supplemental piece. In this case, in snow, Miss Alvarez is in the setting of snow. You could also talk about the setting of being at a school. You could compare it to a book that takes place in a school. You could take it and compare it to someplace that takes place in snow. In class, we discussed maybe it might be something like Home Alone or Frozen. You can even take it further and extend it and choose the theme. And in Miss Alvarez's piece of writing, it talks about the theme of change and discovery. So you could pick something like that as well. Then you'll go ahead and just write about it, including your opinion. And then part 5 was your share out. So we're going to jump back over to Clever again so I can show you where the sample is. Again, it is right underneath the announcements. Oops. So here are the announcements when you come in. And then if you scroll down, you'll see right here, sample Q3W3. When you click on that, it's going to open up again. That is the edit view. This view is just a reminder that you can use any of these by working smarter, not harder, and using this as a template. And you can just look at each section and decide which ones are going to stay and which ones you're going to replace. Again, here is part 1, the perspectives on snow, the interview. There is the original person, my responses, and then my friend's responses. And there's the conclusion paragraph. Here is the inspired by piece, the piggyback. So you can see here, like I was mentioning, in paragraph 4, why Felicia, that's stinky fruit. And again in paragraph 5, stinky fruit, I texted back. In correspondence with snow, why Yolanda, dear, that's snow. And snow, I repeated. Here you'll notice instead of calling it asynchronous work, I've just called it other connections to snow and more. And you can see here that we've got the reading that we've done. Here are the reflections. I bumped up the quiz reflection from part 4 into here because it makes sense to have the reflections together. Remember, for vocabulary you need 2 words. I went ahead and just copied and pasted, and this is how it came when I Googled it. And just a reminder that even though snow may seem like a very basic word, we can see here the scientific definition is here. And also, we have the second definition here, where they could snow the public into believing that all was well. Don't forget to give your citations. So this is a hyperlink that goes to the definitions from Oxford Language. Then when we come to part 4, we've already put the reflection from the quiz up above. So now we can have just our activity choice. In this case, I chose the song Let It Go. You can see that I've gone ahead and described a little bit of how Let It Go relates to Miss Alvarez's piece. And I've written a little bit more here about the themes. And then I went ahead and hyperlinked it here to the YouTube video. Remember, to do a hyperlink, you're going to go ahead and highlight the words you want, click on the word link, and then you'll end up pasting it in here. If it's a mistake, you can see you can click on remove link. Once that's set, hit OK, and the link is in there now. And that's what I presented to you in class. We got to listen to about 1.5 minutes of Elsa singing. Again, here are all the lyrics to the song. And then you can see that I did give the source. Remember, we do not want to plagiarize. And then the last part, part 5, I did the presentation in class. And here are some feedback comments. So this is in the edit view. Let's look at it in the play view. So remember, instead of just calling it Q3W3 Snow and More, which is pretty boring, I've gone ahead and changed it to Stinky Fruit and Snow and added my own image. Again, to duplicate or to change an image, not duplicate, to change, you're going to go over in here, click on the plus, and you'll see it comes up with different things you can add. You'll click on image, and this window pops up on the right. And you can go ahead and type in here what it is that you want. You can see some of my searches were here already. I'm going to click on this search. Otherwise, you would type it up here in this chat box, and you can see different pictures that come in. What we do then is we grab the picture and we put it over here into the image section. To change out the picture, we just drag it up and voila, it's changed the picture. Let me show you what that looks like in play mode. Ta-da! Fortunately, Snow White didn't eat stinky fruit, although she did eat that apple. So I want to take that back out. I'm just going to trade it back. And here now I can delete this image by coming back into the box, and in the top right corner I can click delete. So once again, let's just look at it in play mode. And this is what you will see. Scrolling down, here's the hello reader. Remember, we always want to introduce our readers to what our project or activity is. Then we've got a bio, the piece of writing, the sources, why people should be interested in this. And here it is again. Here's the interview, my responses, my partner's responses, my conclusion. Here is my vignette. You can see that I've called it a realistic fiction vignette based on Julia Alvarez's Snow, written by me. And here is my 5 paragraphs modeled after Miss Alvarez's. And again, just showing you in play mode what this looks like. So one of the great things about having a sway that you've created is that you can then go ahead and come up, because each sway creates a unique link automatically. So we can either come up here and highlight this, or if you're coming over here, when you hover to the right, you'll see it says share. You can click on share and click on the icon to copy the link. Once it's copied, remember you will go to either email or to Clever to send me your link so that I will be able to score it. If you don't want to use the template, so for example, if you didn't want to duplicate, and let me just review quickly how to duplicate. To duplicate, you're going to come up here to the top 3 dots, click on that, select duplicate the sway, come on over here and change it to whatever title yours is. So in class, some of us, again, we're talking about maybe Ice Age or Home Alone, so we can just go ahead and type it in. And then from there, you're going to go ahead and select duplicate. You'll see it duplicating this way as the wheel is spinning. And you can either just go to your sways to see all of your sways or edit it now. So if you click on edit it now, you'll see that this has changed, and now you can use it as a template. If you want to just start on your own